Hey everyone, my name is Coach Aileen Wu. I am an Olympic weightlifting coach, and this is my reaction to the 2020 CrossFit Games Women's Snatch Speed Ladder. Here we go. Here we go, round three. We got three ladies left. We got Brooke Wells, we got Katrin, we got Tia. Tia kind of first with the barbell, but definitely first with the barbell up. 175, easy day for her. Feet under the bar, hands on bar. Gets tight enough. Notice slow to fast. Notice she keeps it close. Notice she's efficient. Notice here with Brooke Wells that she caught it a little bit forward, and notice the same thing with Katrin Davidsdottir as before. It's swingy and she has to really work on stabilizing the bar at the bottom. It costs her those couple seconds. With Tia, it's basically a power or close enough. Tia Toomey, 185, easy day. We'll dig in, don't worry, we'll dig in. And then we have left Brooke. Brooke looks like she made it just fine. Here we go, let's see what happens with Katrin. Notice it looks slow. Notice she's already like losing the gaze and kind of giving up the core as she goes into that extension, right? When you give up the core, you lose your force, you lose your power. That all has to be engaged as you go into this pull. She's taking a second, collecting herself. Okay, great. Resting a little bit. Let's see what we can do. Feet under the bar, notice feet straight ahead. It's slow, but she made it. Nicely done, Katrin. Nicely done. Let's break this down. Feet under the bar. She's kind of shimming her feet under the bar, but they do look really far away from the bar and they look really straight ahead. And kind of pointed in even almost, which isn't my favorite, as you guys know, but is hers, let's say. She goes to pick it up, there's a little bit of a jolt here, right? So she goes to pick it up, she doesn't really get super tight on the bar, there's a little bit of jolt, you see it in her body, there's a little bit of that jolt just as soon as she picks up the bar. From here, she's picking up the bar. It doesn't look like her butt came up right off the bat, which is great. She's staying over the bar, over the bar. From here, notice the gap here right from above the knee. You can tell because her chest is continuing to rise this way as opposed to really sweeping it in. So now there's a gap between her and that barbell. She closes that gap. It looks like a combination of pushing the barbell back with her lats, but also shifting forward with her hips. You see both. You also see her careening forward with her neck, right? And that sets up the giving up of the core and kind of losing that into the extension. You'll see that in a minute. So here we go. The hips are continuing to come forward. The hips are continuing to come forward here. You see it in her feet also. Her feet are shifting forward on the weight on her foot as opposed to sitting on that foot a little bit longer. From here, she goes into her extension. Notice she kind of gave up her core already. She's extending like this as opposed to really staying tight over the bar, extending this way. It imparts a little bit more force onto the barbell when you're more over the bar and your core is engaged. But here the barbell's coming up. From here, this is where the passivity is. You can see it because it's loose between her and the barbell. Her feet move out, and from here the barbell comes down on her and you can see it crashes on her a little bit. And from here she has to secure it before she stands up the barbell. So keeping the barbell a little closer past the knee, would have liked her feet out a little bit more. It helps with bringing the barbell up to above the knee, which wasn't her main problem, so that could be fine. And also being a little bit more engaged, head looking straight ahead as she goes into that extension. Helps give it a little bit more pop. It'll help the bar fly a little bit more. Let's watch this full speed so you can see one more time what I'm talking about with tempo. So this is her second attempt at 185. We already broke it down positionally. See if you can catch it positionally on your own, but also notice the tempo. It's a kind of monotone. It's about the same-ish as opposed to that slow to fast that you see so well with Tia. It's smooth, it has a great tempo. The barbell is so close with Tia, right? A lot of love for Katrin, but just notice the difference. So here we are, feet under the bar, getting mentally set. Love that about Katrin. She's all about mental strength, right? Hands on the bar. You notice it's more flat and there's a little pop at the end as opposed to this gradual build up, which would have helped her make the barbell fly. But nicely done, Katrin Davidsdottir, 185. All right, let's take a look at Brooke Wells. Feet under the bar, hands on bar. Okay, she doesn't really get super tight on the barbell. The barbell is a little forward of her. There is a slow to fast tempo, which I dig. Let's dig into this frame by frame. So feet under the bar. She looks like she's a little far away from the bar, but okay. Hands on bar. She doesn't take a second to get tight here, but doesn't need to because look, as she picks up her barbell, nothing shifts in her movement. Butt doesn't come up, back doesn't slack. She stays over the barbell here. Look how close the barbell is to her. It's pretty damn close, even here at above the knee. You start to see a little bit of an early arm bend. It looks like she's shifting forward a little bit on her foot, but that barbell is so close to her. And look from here. It does look like she's jumping just a little bit early, and by a little bit, I mean like a super small touch, but she extends. And you see it here. You can see the little bit early extension because she receives it just a little in front of her, just a little bit. That's another reason why her butt shoots up first, because in her butt shooting up first, it puts more of her upper body under that barbell to stabilize it, because that barbell was just a little bit in front of her. But here she goes, she stands up with it. Well, let's play it again for you at regular speed so you can see it. Feet under the bar, hands on bar. Notice the tempo, notice how close she keeps it. There is a little bit of that hip thrust also, which is another reason why the barbell comes up. And the hip thrust tends to happen when you extend a little bit early, because that's just the anatomy of it. So feet on the bar, hands on bar. Doesn't get as tight. This is actually a better lift than the last one. Let's break it up. Feet under the bar, 185. Hands on bar. They look pointed out a little bit. Not sure where she is relative to the bar. Hands on bar, she's kind of collecting herself. She gets tight in the split second, goes to pick up. I like my athletes to be tighter right off the floor, but I don't really mind it in this situation because as she picks up the barbell, there's no slack. She's looking down though, not in love with that by a lot. But anyway, she's staying over the bar. She's staying over the bar. Notice how close the barbell is to her, but you're starting to see a slight early arm bend right here. But she is pulling that barbell close to her. There looks like to be a little bit of a gap, but not a lot. She's pulling that barbell close into her, but she's doing that more than the hips are coming forward. So she's staying over her foot a little bit longer. As she goes into this extension, she's a little higher up. It's a little closer to her. She's able to give it more of a pop. As you can see here, keeping it closer from above the knee, you see it right here, because here, notice that the bar is a little more on top of her and not as forward in front of her as it was the previous lift. I believe that's 180. So here, and she's able to stand up with the barbell. Very nice. Let's watch this regular speed so you get a better feel. Notice she knows it's heavy for her, or heavy enough that she can take a moment. She doesn't have to rush into it, but she's, calm and steady, feet onto the bar, hands on bar. Look at that, slow to fast. She keeps it close. Because she keeps it close, she gets that nice little pop. She gets that elevation on that barbell and is able to secure it. Very nicely done. Let's take a look at Tia. Tia 180, 185, smooth as butter, right? Feet under the barbell, hands on barbell. Keeps it close, slow to fast, comes right over her. She's pulling the whole way, 185, feet under the bar. Look, the back doesn't slack, it doesn't come up. She keeps it close again. It's like the same lift almost, right? And that's what you see with the great lifters. Every single time, it looks the same. Let's break it down slow. So here we go, Tia, feet already under the bar, hands on bar. She's tight enough, you can see her face, she's holding in her breath. Here we go, she goes to pick up the barbell, nothing slack, she stays over the barbell, stays over the barbell. You start to see a little army thing here a little bit, very slight. You do see her also leaning towards the left, which I don't think I've ever seen before, which is interesting. But she keeps it very close to her here, right? And notice she's very flat-footed here going into her extension. She isn't compromised at all. She isn't already on her toes. She's very much over the bar like I talked about earlier. Head looking straight ahead, cores engaged, everything's online. And from here she goes into that jump. It's so close. She's in this fully extended position. She goes into that jump. She's pulling herself down under that barbell that whole way, almost receives it right above parallel, and then stands up with it. Again, notice the preference for the left. Not sure if there's a slight injury or if her left side is stronger, but we are seeing a little bit of that. 185. She can jog up to 185 because she's that good and she's that strong. Feet under the barbell, hands on barbell. She has a general idea of where they are. She's taking a very slight split second here. She's pulling herself into the barbell, gets tight as she picks up the barbell. I don't mind doing it this way. I normally like to spend a little bit more time getting tight, but nothing happens here. Her butt doesn't come up right away. Her back doesn't slack. She stays over the barbell. Love it. It does continue to seem to be a preference for the left side. It seems like she's leaning that way a little bit. Interesting. From here, she keeps the barbell close. There is a slight early arm bend, but notice she's online. She's looking straight ahead. Her core is engaged. Everything, she's keeping that barbell so close. There is a little bit of an early arm bend though, but it's sitting right in her hip pocket when she goes for that extension. And when she's going for that extension, everything's fully here, right? Everything's engaged, everything's on. She pulls up with that barbell, is pulling on it the whole way, and receives it between parallel and ass to grass. Has to kind of take a moment. It rocks her a little bit, but she stands up with it fine. Again, looks like there's a preference for the left side in terms of strength. Makes 185 pretty damn easy enough. So there you go, Tia-Clair Toomey, 185. Hey everyone, thanks for watching my reaction to the 2020 CrossFit Games Women's Snatch Speed Ladder event. If you'd like the video, please like and subscribe below. For any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below. If you'd like to work with me, check me out at www.WuLift.com. Thanks guys, have a great day. Hey everyone, my name is Coach Aileen Wu. Hey everyone, my name is Aileen Wu. I am words. If you like the video, please like and subscribe below. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. If you'd like to work with me, check me out at www.wulift.com. Thanks guys, have a great day.